All right, everybody, welcome to the podcast. I'm Kid Cash. We've had a lot of people that have really crazy experiences that have DM'd me, and we've talked a little bit, and this is one of them. Would you like to introduce yourself? Because this is also the first time I'm kind of meeting you as well, face to face.
My name's Amelia. I live in Fort Collins, Colorado. I am a jack of Jill of many trades, I guess. I'm an energy healer, a rolfer, a personal chef. I grew up in this town that I live in and have had many strange experiences, out of earth experiences, I guess you could say. I was lucky to grow up in a family that was really accepting of otherworldly experiences and kind of encouraged that curiosity.
Wow.
So I think that helped with some of the journeys that I had. But last year, specifically in 2020, I really started shifting into allowing my spirit and my body to be one, because I think I kind of turned that version of me off. I was like, people who are spiritual are nuts, the shit they believe isn't true. Sorry if I'm not allowed to say that.
No, go ahead, you're good.
But now I just know in my heart like my truth, and so thanks for having me.
So what triggered your spiritual or like your conscious journey? Because I know everybody is different. I'm so curious on how you're sparked.
So I was in a, toxic relationship for 4 years, and I started doing this program called the Allowing Love intensive. And it really is all about self-forgiveness and talking to spirit and choosing yourself and loving yourself. And I think just that choice of loving myself really helped me start to embrace who I truly am and be okay with that spirit part of me,
So tell us about your experience that you were telling me a little bit about and that changed your life.
Yeah, so I was 19 and living at my parents' house at the time. And we lived on this lake in Fort Collins, and I would have these sensations. I can't necessarily, they were like visual and very more sensational, like in my body. It was just undeniable that this thing existed. And I had this room that had a window that was like about this height, like it was low to the ground.
Yeah.
And I would have these visuals of this like circular portal outside of my window, and there were all of these beings that were traveling in and out of that portal, like all sorts of different creatures and vibrations, and it kind of like circulated into the ground, but I just knew it to be this like quick travel center for other beings and energies. Like I said, my parents were always really encouraging us to talk about this stuff. So I did bring it up to them that I had this sensation, like there's this portal that lives outside of my bedroom window. Whoa. And my dad was just kind of laughing, and he was like, well, that's great, just be careful. You never know.
They never take it fully seriously. It's like they're like, oh, okay, and it's like they just keep moving on.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, come stay the night in my room one night and see how it goes for you. But one night I woke up, and at the end of my bed there were these two beings standing there, and they were like white beings with smaller heads and really long necks. Like, I don't know which Star Wars it is, but they are in one of the Star Wars. And when I saw them,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like they were really white and these really long I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So when I was 19, it was 2000. So it was before that movie came out, just to give a reference point of what I saw first. And just last Thanksgiving, my sister was here in town, and she lives in Los Angeles, and I was talking about this experience that I had to the family, And she confirmed that she also felt and saw that portal, and that she thought she was crazy for having these experiences. And I don't know if she had like alien visitors in her bedroom or not. She was 4 years younger than me, so I'm not totally sure how much she was absorbing it or not.
So when you saw them outside your window, it was like they were there. Like it was really like almost like they were physical, is what you were saying?
Oh yeah, like the colors, the vibrancy, the frequency that I could feel was so powerful. Like imagine like crystalline pink energies. Like that's what I saw and what I felt pretty consistently.
How many types of beings did you see, and can you describe what some of them look like? Because I'm so excited to hear what they look like.
Yeah, I mean, I could see like little smaller round like green creatures, and I can see like beings with many arms, and some were carrying suitcases and some were not.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely some avian creature type things. The long white ones, not like the standard, like what we think.
Gray,
you know. Yeah. I have seen grays before, but that was not in the portal for whatever reason. But yeah, I just got this sense that it was just this like energetic way of traveling.
So what do you think the portal was like? Do you think it was like an airport in terms of beings coming here? And what do you think they were doing here? Like, what do you think the purpose was for such a portal?
That question just triggered the answer, and it was a transfer station. So I don't know what that means exactly, but I remember having this sensation that this is where the aliens transfer. So whether it's somewhere, like if they're transferring here and going somewhere else, or if they're popping in to say hello and explore planet Earth, or what their purpose was. But they made it look so easy. I was just like, I want to travel like that, you know? Like I want to drop into this energy field and just bounce wherever. And I guess, as you know, with astral travel, you can kind of do that. But
have you ever had any experiences like that?
No, I mean, I did work a lot with astral travel last year. But I didn't have any like super profound experiences with it yet. But I think I'm still learning and understanding, you know, what it is and what my powers are with it, and where to go and what would benefit me now to go and see, you know?
So with these beings that you were seeing, was there any that you talked to or like heard any? Did you eavesdrop on any conversations? Like, was there any you know, verbal or any communication that could give you a slight idea of their intentions or like their mentalities, and like get to understand who they are?
The ones that visited me, the only ones that I physically heard communication from, and what I picked up was that it was telepathic. And they were inviting me to come play with them. I don't know what that means exactly. I wish I would have gone to find out what it means.
Like, was the energy trustworthy?
I was hesitant, you know, like I did feel a little bit of resistance around it. And I don't know if it was just out of fear, like my own human fear, or if it was like this really, truly, like these people are not safe to go with. But you know, like there was just this sense of, if I leave, will I be brought back? You know,
yeah,
like, you just don't know. But yeah, I do wish if I would have had a little bit more understanding of things, and maybe more self-love and knowing who I am and having that balance in myself, I probably would have felt more open to going with them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that'd be like everybody, especially if beings came to my room and were like, do you wanna go play? Like, I would be really hesitant too. And now this was when you were little, right? Like you were smaller.
I was 19, so it was about 20 years ago. Yeah.
And they asked you to come and play?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is like, play at 19 means a whole different thing. So what kind of play are we getting into here?
Yeah,
I don't
make that
know.
clear.
Yeah.
Now, okay, with like, was there any? So, okay, I have a few more questions left. So,
Yeah.
was there any movies that these beings like made you think about, or any movies that you could reference for people to understand what they look like? Because I know they say a lot of movies say the truth. Now, do you back that up? Do you think that's true as well?
I definitely do agree with that to some degree. I think that people who are storytellers in Hollywood are channelers. I think that
Mm,
they have the power because I've seen it with some people in my life. Like the way they can channel is amazing, like impressive. And
mm,
I'm like, wow, you're meant to be an artist of some sort because you have this ability to channel, right?
yeah,
So yeah, I definitely think that there's people in Hollywood who can channel and probably don't even realize that they're channeling other beings or other worlds. But definitely Star Wars has been like the biggest one for me that I feel like holds true in a lot of ways. And
mm-hmm,
just this idea of a galactic um, beingness that's beyond us and these other worlds and beings negotiating and trying to figure things out. Like I do have a very strong sense that that exists and is real.
is there any like beings that, or like abilities you have? Because I know, so you had your, you were conscious like most of your life from a child. So did this trigger anything, or like how did it change your life? And has your psychic abilities ever gotten any stronger, anything like that? How did it change your life?
I think the biggest thing for me now is just being really open to that connection that like I do feel like I could be a channeler if I really, really opened up and allowed that to happen. I feel like my purpose is to really hold space for other people to feel that connection of spirit and body meeting, because
Mm-hmm.
I think our spirits and our bodies, like our spirit sometimes just doesn't quite fit in our body
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Our spirit just thinks humans are, kind of silly, ridiculous little beings, and
Yeah.
we're not used to being confined into a space.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's why a lot of like chronic pain issues happen and stuff like this. So I really do think that my purpose is to help people connect body and spirit together and feel comfortable in who they are.
Where are you in terms of your spiritual journey now?
I definitely feel like I'm pretty intuitive. I feel like I do a lot of body work with people, and I also do healing work with people. And people's guides show up and tell me things. It doesn't happen with
Cool.
every person that I work on, but it does happen very clearly with certain people. And sometimes it'll just happen on whim for no reason. If I'm just enjoying, lunch with somebody, a message will come through. And I just have a rule of three. If a message comes in three times very clearly, then I'm to tell the person
Yeah.
what that message is. And if it doesn't feel clear, then I won't say anything. But
Mm-hmm.
I've had my grandfather show up a couple times for me, and tell me things, and I definitely
Wow.
feel just like this clarity that I didn't have before on my home and where I'm from originally. And I feel like I come from the house of love. I feel like my purpose here is to love, genuinely love people. And I
Mm-hmm.
do. I love humanity. I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now, but I just feel like that quote from Lizzo, if I'm shining, everybody's going to shine. Like that to me is my sole purpose, to shine bright so everyone else can shine bright.
Do you feel you're a star seed or anything like that?
I do. I do feel like the stars call to me and talk to me. And I feel like I connect to the sun every day. Like I sit outside in the sun and I just have this conversation with the sun through my body, like thanking the sun for nourishing me and vice versa. And I just feel this like this power in my body that I can change things. Like I if I commanded, not to be affected or infected by COVID. And so far I haven't been, knock on wood. But I have changed things in my health by commanding them to be, like I just have these like weird little things that I know for a fact anybody is capable of doing. You just have to be willing to explore who you are in your truth and your love. And that's like really the biggest thing you can do for yourself.
Where do you see yourself in, like what is your goal for being a conscious and spiritual person? Do you have a goal in terms of where you want to be spiritually?
Yeah, that's a great question. The first thing that comes to mind is really embracing being a human, like I feel like there's like a uniqueness to this experience, and I'm sure that I've done it many times in many different versions. And I'm with a partner, luckily, who is an amazing channeler, and I can see lifetimes that we were dear together. And like I can easily tap into this like lifetime stuff with him. I don't know how that happens, but it does. But
Do you just like see it?
yeah, like we just will take time to sit and look in each other's eyes and like soul gaze. And
Cool.
yeah, it's amazing. And I can just see like the past lives just show up and feel real. Like sometimes we have these experiences where I'm like, hey, remember that time when this happened? And he's like, oh, I don't remember that one, but I want to know more,
Yo, so you
But
could definitely see to people's, like you can see through people's body and like see their soul through their eyes. Like, so you're saying that, the eyes are really the gateway to the soul.
oh yeah. I kind of feel like with having to wear masks and stuff, it's actually upping our ability to telecommunicate because we're not
Wow.
using our mouths anymore to like be able to read people. You know how in the past you can understand people better because you can read their lips. And
Yes,
now with their lips being taken away, you have to read people's eyes. So we're
it's
almost being
true.
forced into telecommunication without even knowing it, like that is the gift of COVID in my eyes, is this ability to telecommunicate on a deeper level. And if everybody was like really thinking of it that way, imagine how different this planet would be.
What type of future do you see for Earth? Like, what do you think people should really focus on in order to have the Earth fully ascend?
I feel like the biggest thing is the most important thing for the future is to find your truth now and to tap into it and know that if you're a light being and you're being called to be a bright light right now, do it. Because the truth is that always on this planet, for whatever reason, because we have free will, it is a place where fear and love exist. And if you're choosing love over fear, like your life is just going to be incredible. There's no way around it. But if you're choosing fear, and I have been in moments where fear has been so present and it's addicting, but love is addicting too. So I think just like really, really diving into like this love and light of who you are as a human and a spirit on this planet is going to be the fastest way that we can ascend and have the best future. And the fear is everywhere. It's so easy, it's being shoved down our throats. We don't have very much love being shoved down our throats daily. But it would be amazing for this life if we did have that. And I see for the future a place where nature and technology can live together and humans all together. And it's different than where we are at today, but I think it's the direction that everybody is hopeful that we're going into. Like a space where community and just like nature, I feel like nature we've been so disconnected from for so long
100%.
on purpose, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that being shielded from nature dims our intuition. And the more you're in nature, the stronger your intuition is going to be. And that can be as simple as like sitting outside in the sun every day and connecting to nature that way. If you live in a big city, you know, it might be harder to go on hikes, but finding a way to connect with nature every day is also really important.
100%. Now, last question, because you're amazing, bro. Honestly, this is crazy.
Thank you.
So, what is something you want all humans to know overall? How could, people listening use this information to better themselves?
Just find the way to connect to yourself on the deepest level and ask yourself questions. You have the key to every bit of knowledge in your body for yourself, whether it's wellness, whether it's meditation. What meditation do I need to be doing today? Just take a minute, sit with yourself. What do I need to meditate on today? Take a deep breath, listen in. Your intuition will tell you exactly. And it might feel weird at first to like deep dive into yourself, but you can do it and it's life-changing. I do it all the time with food, with anything, like what do I need to do today that is going to most benefit my life and put me in the direction of love,
Wow,
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, thank you so much for being here. We're gonna talk right after I finish this, but
Okay.
I gotta stop recording. But I want to thank all you guys for watching. It's so awesome to listen to you guys and have this community that we could talk and actually hear people's experiences, because stuff like this definitely people need to hear. And people are gonna struggle to a lot of humans are going to struggle to be open-minded to this, but hearing these experiences, hopefully people will start to slowly catch on. Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to ask you. So for people that aren't catching on and they're like, are you sure? Like, I don't know. What do you say to those people?
I think that it's, like it's a universal thing. Like love is a universal language, right? And humanity is a universal language. And intrinsically, we all know the truth. So I think that the people who are having a little bit more trouble wrapping their brains around it, like the best thing you can do for them is shine as bright as you can and show them the way.
I'm baffled and so grateful to have you here. This is awesome. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Like, I was so thrilled to find you on Instagram and just like see and watch your stories, because it was so inspiring for me to like, I've thought about putting this stuff on the internet as well, but I feel nervous to do it because I still feel a little bit like, how will people accept me? But I do know in my heart, it's important to shine bright right now because people need that. People need that leadership of just being comfortable with who you are,
100%. You guys heard it from her first. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. I can't wait to hear all your guys' stories. If you have any stories for me, DM me on Snapchat, Instagram. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.